So now I am sitting at the comfort of my home. I want to go back and talk about my first experience testing out my newly acquired Epic V5. Okay. Um, at the very beginning, the weather was not working for me. So when I first got to the location, it started to rain. It got really windy, and I had to wait for a little bit before I would even be able to launch the Epic V5. Um, After I started launching the V5, the moment I sit on the kayak of the V5, okay, it's almost like it gave me confidence immediately once I sat on it, because the stability on the V5 is actually very, very good. Even in those windy and choppy weather conditions, not at one moment that I felt like it's unstable and it's gonna tip me over easily. So once I sat on it, I had a feeling that I'm able to control, the stability of the kayak, and immediately I started pedaling, and then that fear, the stability fear, went away. And as I pedaled a little bit further, got really excited, just because how easy it is to pedal a much lighter kayak. So this kayak is full carbon fiber construction, even though it's Gen 1. I think it's made in year 2017, so almost 10 years old kayak. It still performed very, very nice. You don't feel the weight with that carbon fiber pedal that I also got together with that kayak. Um, it was effortless. So that got me excited. I started pedaling a little bit more, but that exposed one major issue for me, and that's the reason I want to sit here and tell you, please practice remounting on your kayak even before you go out to do your very first kayaking trip. Because what happened to me is that at the end of this session this morning, I was just hanging out, chilling, and on the way back, and I'm not super close to the shore, but then again, I'm not super far away. But the water was deep enough for me to not be able to have my foot on the ground to be able to comfortably rest and get back on the kayak. And I flipped on a very small wave. And it's probably because I was not careful enough so that I flipped. I lost some stuff in my pocket. My eyeglasses almost got washed away, so I definitely need something to actually make sure the eyeglasses doesn't get away during a flip. And all my other gears was fine because I tethered my leg, my kayak didn't go away, and I tethered my pedal. Those are kind of important facts. I tried to get back on my kayak, but I was not able to. I tried to jump on, and it just keeps flipping on me, because I didn't practice. And I should have practiced. I should have watched some safety videos on how to remount on a surf ski, because the remounting process is actually slightly different from a sitting kayak that I was not aware of. So I tried to use the technique from a sitting kayak to remount, even with an inflatable pedal float. All of those didn't help because I didn't practice and I didn't watch the safety video on how to remount on a surf ski. That caused me to almost, lose my kayak, because the other option I have is, yes, I can safely swim back, but then I'm going to lose my kayak. So I dragged my kayak very slowly. I tried to swim back with the kayak, and finally I was able to get back on shore, but I was already super tired. At that moment, I started practicing. And again, I should have practiced before. And it's during those practice that I realized I was still not able to get back on the surf ski because I don't have the correct technique. I went online, I looked at a few videos, and I realized my technique was entirely wrong. I should have jumped onto the kayak when I had the balance, and then I should have just rolled over to sit sideways on the surf ski instead of trying to hold my hand and then orienting myself parallel to the surf ski, and that always resulted in a flip over immediately after I got back on the kayak. So tomorrow I'm gonna go back out and retry, and tomorrow's trip is just going to be at the shallow shore, making sure that I'm able to get back on the surf ski. I will definitely get back on the kayak, have more sessions, but then I'm also at the same time, even before I start kayaking, practice on the remounting onto the kayak, because I think everybody needs to know this before they go out on their first kayak trip. Now, it might feel really safe if you're in your kayak and you haven't even, flipped and fall out of the water. But that's fake safety. Or like, it's fake. It's fake safety. It's fake impression of safety, because the moment you fell, you realize you're not gonna get back on your kayak, and that's when the danger happens. So I really want to make this conclusion video about safety, more so than about my first experience trying out the Epic V5. It's a fantastic kayak, but I think for the next couple of sessions that I'm going to do with the V5, it's going to be practicing how to remount from the water back onto the kayak, because I think that should be the very first thing that I have done. And unfortunately, I didn't do it. Fortunately, I'm still here making this video. So I hope everyone have a safe trip. If you're going out kayaking, if you're looking at this video, thinking about buying the V5, yes, it's a fantastic kayak, by the way. You should get it if you find a good used pre-owned one, near your area, no doubt. But anything you do before practicing remount. So have a safe kayaking trip, and I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, like and subscribe for more kayaking related videos, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.